Can I bathe my cat in winter? Experts' opinion. Cats are not the biggest fan of water, so do they take a bath on a regular? Are they comfortable with cold water or warm water? What about winter, do they bathe in winter? Is the cold water safe for them to bathe in? So many questions pop up in our mind when we think about cats bathing, especially in weather like this. You can bathe your cats in winter, but it is not a necessity. While thinking about your pet cat, you should consider that if you are cold, it is cold too. So even if you don't mind bathing in winter, it is not your cat's favorite activity. Is it safe to bathe a cat in winter? Yes, it is safe to bathe cats in winter, but only if you make sure that the cat is comfortable with it. It is not even a necessity to give your cat a bath unless it is infected with fleas. As Sokolowski pointed out, we must make sure that the cat needs a bath. If it is not absolutely necessary, then why bother making the cats uncomfortable? It may be safe to bathe cats sometimes, but it is not safe to bathe kittens. Even if you use warm water, kittens are already at high risk of being hypothermic and losing their life. Cats are capable enough to groom themselves, so even if you don't give them a bath in the cold weather, they would be able to take care of themselves. A cat's fur may look dense and provides protection against cold, but when we bathe the cats, it does not absorb any water. The water comes in contact with the skin, which could cause a lowering of their body temperature. To avoid this, the temperature of the water and the amount of time spent in the bath needs to be regulated. Is bathing a cat really necessary in winter? Bathing a cat may or may not be necessary for the cat. This solution depends on the cat. If the cats are very active and play a lot around dirty surfaces, they need to get cleaned. If they aren't much active, then self-grooming would be enough for them. As pointed out earlier, the fur only provides insulation, it does not cover the skin. According to the Texas Department of State Health Services, being in cold temperatures with a wet coat and skin can increase the animal's chances of developing hypothermia, so unless it is fatal for the cat to go without a bath, you should forego it in the colder months. But as the Department of Agriculture, Trade and Consumer Protection State of Wisconsin points out that wet, dirty, and matted fur does not provide insulation against cold. This does not mean bathing. If your cat needs a bath to be clean, you should give it one. But if brushing or other grooming activities do the job, you should not stress about giving your cat a bath. According to Washington State University, self-grooming is not just a cat's way of keeping itself clean. Licking stimulates the skin glands, which produce a waterproofing agent for the coat. Besides, grooming is also a method of temperature regulation. Cats are unable to sweat because of the fur, so saliva becomes a substitute for the cooling effect of sweat. That is why cats groom themselves more often in warm weather. You can leave cold baths in winter for cats and trust that they would take care of themselves nicely. You can leave cold baths in winter for cats and trust that they would take care of themselves nicely. The frequency of cat baths in winter months should be around once every 4 to 6 weeks. If your cat is an outdoor cat, the frequency of baths should be increased to around twice every 4 to 6 weeks. If your cat is unable to groom itself due to physical problems like obesity or arthritis, make sure you groom your cat efficiently. You are responsible for the skincare needs of these cats, so you need to choose very cautiously, according to the needs of the cat. Cats would also need baths more frequently if they are infected with fleas, even though in winter, fleas cannot exist. In a recent study, Oklahoma State University found out that due to evolution, the pupal or cocoon stage of the life cycle is resistant to any and all insecticides, leading to failure to regulate the population of the fleas. The pupal stage can lay dormant for 140 to 170 days. Thus, in some areas of the country, fleas can actually survive through the winter. This information points towards a threatening situation. This means that if your cat gets flea infected in winter, you would have no option but to give your cat a bath. Giving a bath in such harsh weather could pose a greater risk to the cat's life. What temperature do cats like for baths? For baths in cold weather, cats prefer temperatures around 100 to 103 degrees. This is the chosen temperature range as this helps maintain their body temperature, and this temperature makes sure it is not too cold or would get a fever. a cat's normal temperature is 100.5 F, 102.5 F. 105 F is a danger sign, and 108 F is life-threatening, requiring immediate cooling off in a cold water bath, was an observation recorded by the Washington State University. When you bathe your cat, the water directly touches the cat's skin. The Chicago government in their guidelines mentions that even though companion animals have a fur coat, most dogs and cats cannot endure the cold of winter for more than 10 to 15 minutes. Cats generally do not need a bath, they clean themselves. Precautions to take while bathing your cat in winter. While giving a bath to your cat in winter, keep these things in your mind. Dry baths. Instead of bathing your cat with water, you can give it a dry bath. Products such as corn starch or baby powder can be used as substitutes for dry baths for your cat. These products are mild and relatively gentle on your cat's skin and hence possess no harm in using. You should consider giving your cat a bath with water only when you have a hair dryer, leaving their skin and fur cold for not more than a few minutes. Even leaving their fur cold for 15 minutes could be very harmful to the cats. Make sure you maintain the temperature of the water and the cat's body temperature while giving it a bath. Make sure that the cat's body temperature does not rise above 102 degrees Fahrenheit. Temperatures above those indicate a fever which could make your cat seriously ill. Do not unnecessarily bathe them in the colder months and leave them to groom themselves. Bathing alone is exposing them to the risk of hypothermia, and if you excessively bathe them they may also die. Those few things need to be remembered and applied in real life when needed. Bathing a cat in winter is possible if you follow a few simple but important rules. The key is to ensure your furry friend stays warm and comfortable. Remember, their health and well-being are in your hands. If you have any questions, feel free to share them in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more helpful tips for caring pet owners.